What is up, DTube Steam blockchain? So today I saw Elsa KJ's latest video, and she was basically now talking about powering down her whole Steam tokens for an opportunity. And she basically asked if you, like the person that was viewing the video, if you ever would power down all of your Steam tokens for an opportunity. At the same time, she asked if she should do it. And me personally, from the experience of me, I have lived abroad for 2 years in a different country. And I was also, when I had an opportunity, I had a really hard time to sort of like, should I move? Should I not move? And what I did was this. I basically burned the boats. So what I did, so I had gotten this new apartment in a new area, and I didn't like the neighbors. It was a little bit chaotic. So after living there for around 6 months, I decided to, okay, I don't want to live here, so where should I go? I found a country that sort of seemed nice. My friend had recommended it to me, and I was like, okay, let's go. Or I had so many weird images in my head of what it might be. Then I realized it might be pretty good. So what I did was I burned the boats. So what I did was, so I was also looking at this like, I need a little bit more money maybe. And LCKJ also talked about it, that it was around $1,000 missing. And it was a little bit the same for me. There's always money missing. Okay, so what I did, burn the boats, was I canceled the contract of the current apartment without me having a solution for how to figure out this move to a different country thing. I set up the contract, had around 3 months, I think, to get the money and get some place and basically make it happen, right? And right after that, something very, very cool happened. And that was, I got my most successful YouTube video ever, all time. In total, we got over 100 million views. So the money basically showed up, and everything got timed perfectly. And that's something that's, I think, this is kind of like interesting. I think people need to have this a little bit more burn the boats, where when they get the opportunities, they take them. Because opportunities rarely come. And after that, I lived around 2 years abroad, and it was an amazing experience. Because you realize that travel and living in different places, nothing really beats that. Because you see so much. You see how other people live. You see how intelligence works different in different places. So I also then traveled a little bit to other places. And these days, I think that people are doing the travel thing into almost like a joke, because they only like traveling to show it on Instagram. But when you do travel a little bit longer to work on a place and stay a little bit longer, that is really when the magic starts to happen. And you learn so much. And you also see how ignorant other people are. Like, for example, people have many ideas about how a place is, without any real experience. And this is like what's kind of interesting about traveling, is how you sort of how much you learn about a new place. And it's like, so a person can sort of live abroad a little bit, and then they can go back, and what they usually realize is not much have happened at home. Like, stuff is pretty much the same, while like these travel experiences, they're so rare opportunities. They rarely come, and you usually need a lot of money, and maybe in the future they won't be there, like the opportunities to do something. Because people always think that opportunities to do something always will be there, but it won't. Stuff change, situations change, and like, that's life. So yeah, LCKJ, I think you should take the opportunity and basically explore the world. I think in total I have gone to not that many cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8. And lived at one foreign city for around 2 years. And it's so amazing, because each place, what you realize is each place is so different. Like, the intelligence in a place is so different. The way people are looking at life is so different. And you also realize how languages, how it makes, so it shapes different ways in how people are looking at the world. And that's kind of like fascinating. And this like life experiences is really interesting to have. So in the future, I want to travel more. It's nice also sometimes when you've been abroad a little bit to sort of go back, maybe chill a bit, maybe reflect a bit, and then go explore a little bit again. So yeah, I mean, that's what I want to talk a little bit about in this video. And about the question, would I power down all my Steam for some reason? Well, for me personally, I look at it super, super long term. So, I think we're gonna hit such a big point of abundance eventually that you're just gonna have some kind of AI that do everything. So in the long run, I don't think it's gonna matter that much, like how much Steam you have. Like, yeah, it's a little bit cool. I love my Steam. But in the long term, I don't really think a specific thing. No, I don't think a specific. Well, I can power down all my Steam, but this is because I just look at it from the long term basis, and then you see like how, like, I think that the world in many ways is going to be radically different in some ways in 10 years, especially what people sort of paying attention to, and that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So it's kind of dark here, and what I tried to do here was, so I have my Galaxy Note phone, and I'm using it as a lamp while I'm holding my Galaxy S10 Plus. But now the Galaxy S10 Plus is starting to feel a little bit heavy, because you have to hold it in this like weird way. It's actually kind of interesting because I usually didn't feel this before, but when you're holding two heavy smartphones in your hand for 10 minutes at the same time, it gets kind of heavy. So I mean, you also notice in many places when you travel is, I mean, people are a little bit, you can see a little bit that people are a little bit like plants in how they sort of relate to the world, especially if they have never traveled or anything like that. It's very easy to become very, very close-minded, and that was like something that happened to me when I lived in like a like a small city, and it was so annoying because you realize you never get any new sense experiences in, or or people that basically want to do something. So yeah, I mean, if you have the opportunity, go travel. I think the money will show up, and I think it's going to be a great experience. Because every place, or usually places that you go to, you realize, well, this place is kind of cool. Or wait a sec. I mean, it's kind of mixed, but it's kind of fun because even the bad experiences in some ways becomes extremely interesting in many ways. I never regret like going to a place, even if the place was like horrible, because that becomes an experience in and of itself. It kind of becomes a story that you can tell people. So, and it really is like that. Like every place you go to, even the bad and the good, they all become a story that you can tell people, and then you can add your little bit of fun onto the story eventually. But yeah, go travel if you have the opportunity. I think the money will show up because it usually does when we really want something, or when we're really starting to look how we can get more. Yeah, have a great day, DTube and Steam Blockchain. Bye bye.